Hello, coolers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. We start with Frenkie de Jong. In a recent interview, he talks Modric, Benzema, Vinicius, Pedri Gonzalez, playing as a defender, and many more. We are going to be discussing on that Frenkie de Jong's interview as we move ahead. Then secondly, talking about this report claiming that Barcelona are aiming to sell 3 players in the January transfer window. Who are these players? We are going to be discussing on that as well. So guys, before we get right into the story in full, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you are just coming across the channel for the very first time, you are very welcome. Consider liking the video and please watch the video right up to the very end. Frenkie de Jong has been a constant feature on the news in recent days. The Dutchman has found it difficult to see minutes under Xavi Hernandez this season and continues to start on the bench despite his promised cameos. Needless to say, he is so frustrated with the situation in Catalonia. He came on the second half of Barcelona's tie against Inter Milan and made a strong impression with his all-round performance. As El Clasico nears, he will hope that his midweek performance is enough to guarantee him a start at the Bernabeu. The Dutchman spoke earlier today to La Liga TV, in which he spoke about the team's recent troubles and upcoming El Clasico. Here are the key quotes from his interview. The former Ajax midfielder was unsurprisingly greeted with a question about Barcelona's defeat to Inter Milan midweek and effectively eliminated the team from the UEFA Champions League. He gave an insight into how the result was received in the dressing room, but spoke with maturity as to the road ahead. He said, "Disappointment, of course. This is a case in the dressing room, but it is normal. And from tomorrow, we have to change the mood and look forward to El Clasico." Yet, the young acknowledged that the Blaugranas still had a lot to prove and that their recent run of form is poor, and it had to be overcome. He said, "We have to show that we are still a good team." The midfielder then spoke about the upcoming El Clasico and the team's preparation for the game against the defending champions. As he said, "We haven't seen analysis video of Madrid yet, but we know they are a very strong team. I think they haven't lost a game this season, right?" Luka Modric is an inspiration to all footballers alike. His dedication and passion for the game keeps him going despite being past his peak. And Barcelona's gem had only words of praise for the Croatian international, as he said. They have very strong players in the middle. They have Modric. How old is he? 35, 36, 37? It doesn't matter. He still gives everything he has for his age and is one of the best midfielders in the world. I love to watch him. Why Modric is one of the best in the world? He is at the far end of his career. Frenkie de Jong did not forget to mention that Barcelona too had some of the world's best midfielders in their ranks, who was just getting started on his run to greatness. In Pedri, he said, "We have Pedri. Everyone knows who he is and how he plays with both feet." When asked about the threat in Real Madrid's setup, the Dutch international surprisingly highlighted the strong forward line, as he said, "I think Madrid have a great team with great players. They have Vinicius and Benzema with very high abilities. The war awaits to see Karim Benzema take on Robert Lewandowski on Sunday night, for both players are considered among the greatest strikers of all time." The 25-year-old commented on the same, saying that, "For the fans, it will be a great match when they see Benzema against Lewa." Since the beginning of this season, Xavi began using De Jong as a centre-back as and when required. While there have been talks of the player being unhappy with his situation, he slammed such rumors during his interview by saying, "I am a midfielder, but if the coach wants me in defense, no problem, but I'm a midfielder." Finally, the youngster was reminded of Barca's 4-0 win last season at the Santiago Bernabeu and expressed his desire to replicate a similar result come Sunday. As he said, "I hope we can win that 4-0 again, but it will be a tough match." Great words there from Frenkie de Jong. Of course, it will be a tough game. I personally, I don't see that repeat of 4-0 again like last season, but who knows? Anything can happen. But it is hard to think that because Barcelona now have very poor form. We're not the Barca before the international break, so It's difficult. Real Madrid are confident. I think Real Madrid are going into this encounter more confident than us after the debacle, the 3-3 draw, or let me say 3-3 defeat against Inter Milan, because the game felt like a defeat. So it's gonna be tough. But as I've been saying it uncountable times, we just need to keep that game behind us and focus on this Clasico, because it will be important for us to focus, not to be distracted. And we have to know that La Liga should be our ultimate goal. Laporta have even said it in his recent interview in Barca TV Plus that he expects Barcelona to go for the La Liga. That's our goal. So it makes no sense. You already know that you are going to the Europa League again. Why will you leave that aspect disturb you for going for another trophy? Because I think winning Real Madrid tomorrow will be massive for us to reclaim, or not say reclaim, but to win La Liga after 4 years. It's going to be very important for us to try and win the game tomorrow against Real Madrid. It's not going to be an easy game, no doubt about that. Then on to the next story of discussion. Despite undergoing a major squad overhaul in the summer transfer window, Barcelona are actively looking at the market in order to further strengthen their squad. The process has only been fast-tracked by the club's recent draw with Inter Milan, which puts them on the brink of elimination from UEFA Champions League. In light of the result, a recent report from Dario Sport has come up with an update on the club's objectives in the upcoming January transfer window. It appears Barca's priority in winter is to offload some of the players in the squad in an attempt to reduce the wage expenditures. The Catalans have identified three players in particular who must be offloaded in January. Gerard Piqué and Jordi Alba feature on the list due to their very poor start to the season, coupled with the exorbitant salary that is making it almost impossible for Barcelona to sustain itself. Another player added to this list is Frenkie de Jong. Given his age and player profile, the Dutchman is an excellent sporting prospect for the club. However, the former Ajax man has not been able to fulfill his potential in recent years and has been falling behind the likes of Pedri, Gavi, and Busquets in the pecking order. As such, Barca are hoping to offload him in January, knowing he could yield significant revenue to the club. A few Premier League clubs have already shown their intention to sign Frenkie de Jong in mid-season. The player was linked to a move to Manchester United in the summer, and one would expect the Red Devils to be back in the market. However, Barcelona understand that offloading all three of these players in the winter transfer window could be next to impossible. As such, many of them may actually leave Camp Nou at the end of the season, when the club will also bid adieu to Sergio, Roberto, and Busquets. So, callers, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.